Hey guys, I've been really meaning to do more of these conversational topic videos. Um, also, I'm going to be doing more of them and just discussing things that comments that I get in my comment section, questions and stuff. But just to start it off, I am 5'10". I fluctuate between 200, about 210 to 220 pounds. I have more of a stocky frame, as you can see in some of my videos, um, and I do lift weights. Whether or not I'll be putting more of that in my videos, I think it'll just be more time. But yeah, um, I have a half marathon personal record, but unofficial of an hour and 56 minutes. Super unofficial, but it was the best that I could do. This was last year in December. Um, and I'm shooting for sub 1 hour 50 minutes. Um, but that's a conversation for the next video. Ultimately, what I wanted to talk about are just some topics. Right now, I don't have a video out for this shoe, and I don't think I'm gonna put forth the time to do it. Um, but this right now currently is my long run shoe. Um, and if I were to review it, I would have to say that the upper has great lockdown. The toe box is a little narrow. Um, it's uh, I would have to say that the shoelaces, they say it's asymmetrical, but I think that's pretty symmetrical going up from both ends. The lockdown is excellent. The tongue has this padding, which makes it comfortable over the top of your foot, but you get a super secure lockdown. The mesh is super thin and breathable. I don't think you could see my thumb right now. You could barely see through it, but you can definitely see through it. You can barely see through it on the camera. Um, and there's actually the tongue is fully gusseted, and is actually I never actually thought about this, but there's two layers. There's an inner layer, a full inner layer, while the tongue is fully gusseted. You can see right down in there. The support of the heel is very supportive. It's not too firm, but it's just firm enough to give you a good heel lockdown. Um, and then on the inside, you can see it's very comfortable. This is if this was supposed to be a true racer, I'd say that they've made this one extra comfortable around this heel area with the padding and stuff. The toe box was a little narrow, like I said, and I would also have to say is it wasn't it's not that comfortable. But other than that, the upper was good. The lockdown is great. The laces are perfectly long. Tongue is just right, and it's breathable. So the upper's great. Just slightly narrow in the toe box is my only issue. Now the midsole, it's firm. I do find this to be but I do find it to be a firm midsole. It's it's dampening, so you don't really feel like a squish. For me, I don't really feel like a squish, but I do feel the plate. Like the plate is kind of like this. It does kind of like this leaf spring. So you kind of feel it absorb energy, and then you do feel it at toe off. You feel like almost like it gets firm and propulsive because that plate allows for there to be a rocker. This shoe has a strong rocker too. You can really feel it. Um, Also, the decoupled groove allows for there to be good compression underneath the heel. And also, it's got a very wide base between it's got a very wide base, and your heel sits below this here. So one thing I like about this shoe for my long runs is that it's very stable. When you land, if you land like I do, supinate, and you land, I try to land lightly. And my heel touches, it's very stable. I don't have to worry about too much pronation or anything. So the midsole I don't find it to be super responsive. I just find that you land and it allows your foot to just get in there, and then this plate allows for proper toe off and spring forward. So I wouldn't say that it's a propulsive shoe. I definitely don't think Floatride Energy is a super foam. They did say that they put P-backs, I think it's called Floatride Energy X, Energy X, I think, underneath, and it's different from. See, that's only bubbly because it's broken in, and it didn't even last underneath there. But you can see that it's actually smooth compared to the beaded foam here. So it's two different types of foam. Just want to really point that out. It's not easy to see because I have it so beat up from running in the shoe so frequently, but they're different foams. Just really want to make that evident versus this beaded foam. So I think this was completely unnecessary. I think if they wanted to put P-backs in here, they should have put it above the Floatride Energy foam, because this foam is firmer and dampening, and it would have made it for a softer forefoot. For me, at least. I think some people say that this shoe is soft. I don't find that to be the case. I find it to be responsive because it absorbs impact, and it's a good foam to push off of. Because once it absorbs an impact, it gets firm. And I do like ground feel, even though I'm a heavier runner. And I'll say heavier. I won't. There's a lot of guys out there more heavier than me, they might take the shoe differently. But for me, the midsole, it's a great midsole. I think it's very it's good for absorbing impact. Now, as for the outsole, it's pretty thin, but it's great because it has good grip. It doesn't wear too fast. Yeah, I mean, I really have no complaints. I've been in this in moist weather, in dry weather. It doesn't pick up anything. Yeah, I mean, it's basic. I feel like it's like a basic thin. You have a nice section here for scuffing your feet, and I use this section. I don't mind a little scuffage, and it's very hard wearing. So I'd have to say that the outsole's great. The decoupled groove, and this carbon plate here, carbon fiber plate. That's weird. It shows backwards. But anyways, it kind of scoops underneath, and during the break-in period, I could kind of feel that under the metatarsals of my foot, that I could just kind of feel like there was something underneath there. Like my foot was kind of landing, and I could feel that plate under my forefoot, just kind of like, it was kind of a weird sensation. But once it breaks in and it just gets more flexible, you get used to it. And by flexible, I mean, I really mean like flexible. The shoe is, which is why it's such a good long run shoe for me, because it allows for my foot to perform naturally and also get through the gait cycle, because that carbon plate causes rigidity right at toe off. So it's a great shoe. It's stable, very stable, and this is almost like a track shoe for the roads. It's firm enough to get a lot of speed, and when you get onto your toes, that plate is really rigid for bending. Like, it won't let you bend straight that easily. So when you land, you get wonderful snap off that plate. So it's a tweener, I guess, the term that you hear a lot in this running community. So I think it's a good one, and it works for me really well. It's durable, it's light, breathable. It is comfortable. The only issue I have is this narrow toe box, and that's about it. But yeah, I think as a heavier runner, I believe you're going to compress the foam more naturally because of your weight. I believe the shoe's going to wear out a little faster naturally because of your weight, but I think there's a balancing act, because as a heavier runner, you're probably not going to be running as often as someone who's not as heavier. You're probably going to be running in the shoe the same amount of time as someone who isn't as heavier, but you'll be putting less miles in. So I think it balances out. Like for me, a shoe typically dies out at about 250 miles, but I've had it for a while, and I haven't run in it for as many miles as someone who's probably lighter. So we'll have it for the same amount of time. I'll put less miles in it, but I do believe a lighter runner might put more power in because they're moving at a faster pace. So I think it's all relative. I've just learned to appreciate that, and the technologies are getting so much better that shoes are lasting longer. So thank you for watching this video. I'll continue to post videos like this because this is what I mean to do. We're just busy, like everyone's busy. But yeah, thank you for watching. Continue to subscribe, continue to comment and ask me questions, and I'll get back to you if I can. And I'll post more conversational topic videos like this. Yeah, by all means, you can comment. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy your day.